I have another one of these food trays saved from the recycle bin. And I'm going to use my print I just made on Canva on it. First, we're going to get this silver covered. I'm just going to add a little bit of baking soda to that paint. There we go. That's going to give us a little more coverage. And as with most things, this will take a couple coats. Just getting in that little edge there. Okay, that's our first coat. We're mixing up another batch of the vintage white. And I'm going to sort of spackle that on there. I'm doing a coat all over just because I want it nice and light and behind my print. Okay, so I add this bottom to a springform pan. So I'll just try to center that. Okay. I'm just going to Mod Podge that down. So I'm just going to put this wax paper over that and give it a smooth. While that's drying, I'm going to mix up some paint. And we're going to fill in our circle here. We're going to just mix up a good cream color like the background. I need a little bit of the brighter orange. All right, that's the tone I want. Now we're going to lighten that up with some more vintage white. Okay, let's put some of that on there. Only out to our circle, just past the edge there, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's where we're going for now, and I'm not worried that it's not all covered, the line or whatever. It will happen. Now I just want to make sure my edges are pressed down, that I haven't puckered them up. Once that dries, we'll work on adding a little more to our picture. So white, brown, green. And this is just background, so we don't have to panic that it's not just so. I'll try to keep it in my circle there. Now we're going to do a little mixture of sky up there. See here, I'm just gonna try to expand. Oh, I got that way too much. Again, just up to the circle there, and then we'll fill it in. Got some pink over here. I'm just going to put a little over here so that the same color. Again, try not to get carried away and get off of my circle. Scrape in a little tree. To extend that fence. Just trying to blend it in some there so that a little bit of the same color is throughout my new stuff and in the picture. So here again, I'm just extending this roof the tiniest bit over onto my print. And more of like a shadow than the house. And then a little more brown, perhaps even a little red, it looks like, in the roof there. We'll go with that. I've got a few things to add to that. Okay, we're going to get some cloth ready here. And I prefer it have the torn edge. So we put it like that. There we go. It's good. I'm actually going to paint that this color over top of it. Okay, we'll let that dry. I'm also going to crinkle it up there some so it's not so neat. Okay, we'll let that dry. Then we'll stamp it. And let's see, now I gotta paint these. Just the vintage white. Little split pins I put in the corners of this here little banner. And now I'm going to stamp it with these. I had got these, I believe, at the dollar store. Yes, Dollarama one time. And they've come in handy. And I don't have many ink colors. So I got that all stamped and I'm just giving them a color in to make it a little bolder. So once I have them on there, I'm going to go over them with a little bit of grunge to get rid of that white. Glue down my other couple things here. Right, I'm going to mix a little of my grunge here with some water, a little water. I'm just going to grunge that, get that white out of there. And this is just to make it look like it's paint worn off of the colors that it was. Okay, I was just trying to make some uniform colors there in my words and flower decorations. Even actually going to add you have to do the whole word, just mark here and there to make it pop a little and seem uniform with the rest. This foam brush, and then I'm just gonna texture foam to do quite a big section. And you could just do this with Mod Podge, but I needed another coated paint there anyways. And then I'm going to some sprinkling of cinnamon and some coffee. So I get a mixed grunginess. Okay, I've got some grunge here. I'm going to take some of that. And I'm going to take most of it off. I don't want those brush marks, so I'm just going to start dabbing here over the picture. Make sure I get those brighter areas well. The last thing I did was soaked my muslin fabric strip and some cheesecloth in the grunge and let it dry. So it made it faded. And I made a bow for my hanging. So that's my spring wall hanging made from the upcycled food tray, and I hope you like it. Thank you for creating with me.